Alright, ladies and gents, that was Alex Clare and Too Close here on 107 Reading FM on the biggest hip-hop R&B show around. I don't just say that each week, I prove it. And yes, that is my ego talking. Alright, let's wind this one down, because I promised you an interview with an artist who, in my opinion, and definitely my wife's opinion, is going to be the next big thing over here in the UK, stroke the Commonwealth, because I know he's from St. Kitts. It is Dale Saunders. Dale, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good. What's up to the people in Radio Land?
God bless you, sir. Now, you've been at a festival today, ain't you?
Yeah, I've actually just come back from the Lush Festival.
Okay.
We were down there today, so we just got in.
So what were you performing there?
I performed, yeah.
And how was that?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, today was a great day, I think, because the sun came out, but I think they had 3 days of just pure rain, so it was all like really muddy and everything. It was all wellies, man. It's wellies parties.
But that's the festivals over here in the UK. Do you know what I mean? That's what happens. You know. Anyway, Dale. So let's go right back, man. I was telling you off air about how Let the Love Flow played it last week. I'm getting mad reaction for it. It's really catchy. My wife, I said she is listening, absolutely loves it, because she says it's got a slight Black Eyed Peas type feel to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those are all the influences. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, so.
Oh, but it's amazing, man. Because I also saw the video on YouTube where you're on over in London and me. You know what I mean? I'm a big London boy. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was very proud of seeing all London all shot all nicely.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
and it does look like you worked out. Do you know what I mean?
I do try to hit the gym at least 6 days a week.
Yeah, I saw you just busting out with a t-shirt. Well, it wasn't a t-shirt, it was like a vest, you know what I mean? Talking to some old grannies along the thing. I thought, what's he doing? Anyway, Dale, so the track's out tomorrow?
Yeah, officially it's going to be out tomorrow.
Yep.
We're throwing a launch party at Club Anaya in London, London Mayfair.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, hopefully it should be good.
Okay, and people can get that on iTunes and all that thing. I know they can follow you on YouTube and on your Twitter.
Yeah, definitely, and also on the website. If you go on the website, you can the track's been available on my website now for the past couple of weeks.
Okay.
But yeah, my website, www.imdalesaunders.com. You go to the store, you pretty much can download the track and anything else that I've got on there. I've got a whole album from last year that's on there.
Okay, cool. Now let's go back, man. So you got a slight accent. I know you're from St. Kitts.
Yeah, I was born in St. Kitts, and I was raised in a place called Anguilla.
Okay. Please tell me it was sunny and you're near a beach.
Sorry?
Please tell me that it was sunny and you were near a beach.
It's all, I mean, Anguilla's all beaches, man.
Oh,
that's all we've got there.
I want to ask you this, right? See, my dad is originally from India, and every time when it comes down to winter, I turn around to him and go, do you know when you emigrated, why on earth did you emigrate to the UK where it's cold as hell? Now, what were your parents thinking, man?
Well, that's the question I keep getting asked. Is like, what are you doing here? This type of weather, you know what I mean? But for me, it was music that brought me here at the end of the day. And believe it or not, I really don't hate the cold.
What?
I know it sounds.
You're the only man from the Caribbean that don't hate the cold, man. What's wrong with you?
I know. But when you grow up around the heat all the time, you know what I mean? Sunny day in, sunny day out. You kind of get sort of used to getting a bit of weather like this, and then who knows, later on I can go back to the Caribbean. I mean, it's always going to be there for me, so that's how I see it.
Dale, can I just say, right, none of my listeners have any sympathy for you right now when you say you don't mind it, because we're here all the time. It's not like we can just swan off back to the Caribbean, do you know what I'm saying? I'll end it right now if you carry on. No, but that's all good. So when did you come here? I mean, you said you came over here for the music, so when did you come over here?
Yeah, it was about I think it was around 8 years ago.
Okay.
I came over here. I did a track back home. I used to sing with some bands and stuff back home. But when I actually broke out into a solo act, did this track called Dance. I kind of felt like Michael Jackson at the time when he separated from the Jackson 5.
Uh-huh.
He had this thing in him that he just wanted to get out. This music that was in him that wanted to get out, and it was the same for me. So, and I did this track called Dance, and it really was good. It was it was soca music, obviously, but it was crossing over. It was a crossover between soca and R&B, or soca and pop music.
Yeah.
Because I quite grew up listening to a lot of R&B and stuff. So, with that, it did really, really well in the Caribbean. And, it was like, a lot of people was like, you don't belong here. You need to go to someplace bigger. And obviously I've spent some time in Florida. I used to live in Florida for quite a while, so I've given America a try. So I figured, you know what, let's give the UK a try and see what happens.
Nice. I like it. Yeah. You know, we're honoured that you come over here. You know, you haven't brought the sun over though. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, sort it out, man.
I actually brought it down to a pool today, down at the Lush Festival. Everyone was happy. They came out. You know, they supported and everything. It was a great stage performance, man. It was really good.
Well, you could have brought it down where I am, man. All morning, since about 8 o'clock this morning, I've been at a craft fair, right? And it was, I can't swear because I'm on air. Do you know what I mean? But let's just put it this way: it was raining.
Yeah, I know.
It went nice.
Halfway back, and I'm like, we're coming from sunshine, you know what I mean? Down here, and all of a sudden, we just run into this rain, and I'm like, oh my God, it's raining in London.
But I've been looking at
like that from this morning.
But I've been looking at your bio, man, because you. It's not been an easy ride for you, man. You've had to work seriously hard. So, how have you found it coming over here? Because you said that, you know, the track dance did well over in the Caribbean. You're coming over here, where, in a sense, you're starting from all over again.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. You know, I couldn't even release dance over here. That's the thing. It was so hard. I didn't know what to do with, you know, who to turn to. I actually kind of try to submerge myself back into the Caribbean culture, the Caribbean market, but that was quite difficult, even more difficult, to be honest, because obviously there's so much different islands. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, because I mean,
here.
What we have is you know, Sean Paul. We get in a sense commercial reggae. We don't get what I would call proper reggae. It's like you know, when you look at the tracks, you hear commercial hip hop. You don't really hear underground or do you know what I mean, like real old school type hip hop type thing. So like when you're saying the soca type reggae stuff, that's not really known over here.
Well, and the thing is, it's here. But I don't know what's happened, why it hasn't like break out into its own little market and that sort of thing. It's like they keeping it sort of for themselves, you know what I mean? That sort of thing. They don't want it to get mainstream greedy. Or whatever the deal is. And that's the one thing that I probably couldn't deal with, you know. I tried it for a while, and then, you know, I did this track called Dance. I don't know if you saw the YouTube video of Dance. Yeah, that was a really good track for me. I think breakthrough track, and it was doing really well. However, I didn't get the love that I thought I was going to get from doing a track like Dance. You know, and I was looking for support from my Caribbean peeps and all that, you know what I mean? Whether you're from Trinidad, Barbados, it doesn't matter because we're all Caribbean. Yeah. And, you know, what I actually got, the hurtful thing for me was what I got was, hey, where you from? Angola?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
There's an island rivalry going on there.
Exactly. He's like, we don't know what that is, you know what I mean? And that sort of thing. So I was like, how do I do this where I can pull everyone together? You know, I don't want to go through this thing where I've got to just please Anguillians or just try to please the Trinidadians, or you know what I mean. I want to do something that please everybody.
Absolutely. So how tough is it trying to break into, in a sense, over here the mainstream? Going away from the Caribbean market, going away from the reggae feel, because this track, I mean, Let the Love Flow, yes, it has got a slight island type, you know, underbeat to it, and I say it's got a little bit of a Black Eyed Peas, but it is an R&B track. Yeah,
it is a pop track, and that was me, you know, over the years just trying to figure out a way to sort of break into that sort of market, you know, without losing too much of my Caribbean flavor, you know, that I've got, because obviously I'm Caribbean, I don't want to hide that, you know. However, I need to find that way of just merging the genres and just coming out with a nice style and a nice flow.
So is this a style of music you're going to release now, or are you going to try and blend it back into...
I will still try and see if I can blend a few of the old style back into it, because obviously you can't lose that. That's me at the end of the day, and it makes for a great album as well. I think if I'm going to do an album, you know, it's best to have the variety on there.
Absolutely.
I mean, I class myself as an artist. I don't class myself as a pop artist, a soca artist, or anything like that. I'm just an artist, you know, and I do what feels right. If the music tells me, you know, if the music feels good, I'm going to jump on it. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, it's worked before. I mean, you look at Jay Sean. Now he takes you know, in his first few albums, he was doing Asian fusion. Do you know what I mean? Where he was doing Western R&B with an Asian flavour to it, and then once people learning that sound, and he's moving it over. And you know, for me, I like Jay Sean. He's gone a little bit too mainstream for me.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him go a little bit further back, a little bit like Craig David. You know, great singers, great artists. They went a little bit too mainstream, but I think they're gonna find their way back, and they're gonna come back to that original sound. So it does work. So what you're trying to do does work.
Is it them, or is it the label that's pretty much directing them? You know
Yeah.
You have to look at that as well. Maybe if it was an indie kind of thing, then yeah, they can probably do what they want. But because obviously they're signed to majors, you know, to a degree, I think they've been told what to do. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Dale, man, I could sit here and talk to you for hours. Man, I'm loving this conversation. So, but let's go back to let the love flow. So this, I say, it's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. What's the concept behind this?
The concept behind the whole track. To be honest, when I first came up with the track, because obviously I was under this management company, and I was like, my music needs to I need to get into this kind of vibe. You know what I mean? And I need a producer to work with.
Yeah.
So he linked me onto this guy, Dan Clare, which is why it's LTLF featuring Dan Clare.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard some of his stuff that he's done, some official remixes for like CeeLo Green, Bruno Mars, and they were really good.
Yeah, big artists.
You know, the vibe was really, really nice. So, you know, I've been behind this guy for like 3 weeks to send me over something, anything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sent me this thing with, he sent me this beat with the girl singing on it. And he was like, I had the girl sing on it. I don't know if you like the vibe. You can redo the vocals if you want to, or you can just create a new track. And I heard it, and I was like, I got to do a new track because the beat sounds really, really good, but the vocals needs like a lot of work in terms of becoming a mainstream track. So I said, man, I'm going to play with it a bit. At the time, you know, LMFAO was doing good, Black Eyed Peas. That's probably why it's got a bit of flavor.
Yeah.
That was my influence at the time. You know, and I'm there and I'm thinking, and I'm listening to it, and all of a sudden I just got the vibe, let the love flow. Initially, it was kind of like the idea of, you know, back in the 60s, 70s, you know, you go to the club and everyone's just pretty much like an ecstasy or whatever the deal is, and they're just, you know, the hippies are in there and they're moving, and they're letting the love flow, going through the club. That was the vibe before.
Oh, the hippies, you know? I love that.
how I write is quite weird. I don't sit down with pen and paper, so I don't come up with the full concept. I write in the studio directly. You know, I go and sing on the track. I do a vibe on the track. If the vibe comes back to me sounds good, then I start writing initially on that vibe. You know, so we did the chorus first. Once the chorus was banging, then we start doing the verses. And as the verses progressed, it became a positive kind of sounding track. So then we took the whole idea of the hippie, lovey thing in the club out, and we made it a bit more, you know, a bit more personal, a bit more hitting the world and what was going on in the world. I'm
loving the track. You know, I'll play it now, so please stay on air, because I could chat to you for hours, man. I'm loving this, but I'll play this. But please stay on air so I can carry on chatting. I want to talk about something else as well. Sure, ladies and gents, this has been absolutely brilliant. This is Dale Saunders. The next big thing. I don't just say that. You know, my listeners know that I turn down artists all the time to come on here. You know what I mean? So this is huge. I think that the track is amazing. This is Let the Love Flow by Dale. Dale, thank you so much for coming on. As I stay on air, and I'll talk to you a little while. So, ladies and gents, here you go.
Sure thing.
Yeah, it's the love thing. Let's spread it around. Let's spread it around. Let's spread it around. Spread it around.